from verbal abuse to physical altercations.
This is just plain stupidity. Somebody pouring some popcorn.
Bulls clinched their second victory, and as a consequence, they suffered.
Let's take a look at some of the wildest fan moments in NBA history. First, we start in 2019 when Russell Westbrook got into it with a Utah Jazz fan, and it was wild. During a game in 2019, a fan yelled something pretty messed up at Russ, telling him to get down on your knees like you used to. Yeah, you heard that right. Westbrook wasn't having it. He stood up and let the guy know exactly how he felt, dropping some serious language. I swear to God, I'll f you up. You and your wife, I'll f you up.
I swear to God. I'll f you up. You and your wife, I'll f you up.
Naturally, the whole thing blew up. The Jazz banned the fan for life after an investigation, which is honestly the right move. But, of course, the NBA had to fine Russ for his response. He wasn't too happy about that, saying, "I'm just not going to take disrespect from my family." And honestly, who can blame him?
For me, I'm just not going to continue to take disrespect from my family.
Now, if you think this was crazy, just wait for the next story. During the 2019 NBA Finals, an altercation between Raptors guard Kyle Lowry and Warriors minority owner Mark Stevens ignited widespread outrage. The incident occurred during Game 3 when Lowry dove into the courtside seats for a loose ball, only to be pushed by Stevens, who also reportedly directed obscene language at him.
Blocked by Ibaka, and they can't save it, goes out of bounds. It's going to be Golden State ball as Lowry goes diving into the stands. He's upset with a fan.
The backlash was swift. Stevens was fined $500,000 and banned from all NBA games and Warriors facilities for a year. The league and team released a joint statement condemning his behavior as unprofessional and unacceptable. Next, we've got Dolly Myers, a South Carolina politician, taking stalking to a whole new level. Like, we're talking Magic Johnson level stalking here. So Myers, who's already in deep trouble for public corruption, used taxpayer money to fund a $27,000 trip to New Jersey, all to track down Magic Johnson. Yeah, you heard that right. She spent all that cash just to try and meet with him, and no one even knows what she wanted to talk about. It's like, why? What could she possibly have to say to Magic? I mean, seriously, we've gone from fans getting banned for life for disrespecting players to politicians stalking them across the country. It's like people think they can do whatever they want. Moral of the story? If you're a fan, know your place. Whether you're sitting courtside or, using taxpayer dollars to chase down legends. This next one's a doozy. During the 2021 NBA playoffs, Kyrie Irving was hit with a water bottle thrown by a Celtics fan. Yup, you heard that right. Some dude thought it was a good idea to chuck a water bottle at Kyrie after the Brooklyn Nets crushed the Celtics 141-126. Now, this wasn't just some harmless fan frustration. The guy got arrested and charged with assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. Yeah, you could be facing up to 10 years in prison for tossing a bottle at a player. That's a big price to pay for being an idiot. But Kyrie wasn't just mad about the bottle. He came out after the game and called out the real issue: racism. He said, "It's just underlying racism and treating people like they're in a human zoo." He's right, though. It's not just about the bottle. It's about the disrespect and entitlement fans sometimes feel when it comes to NBA players. So, what's the takeaway here? Don't throw stuff at players, bro. Seriously, it's not just disrespectful. It's dangerous. And it's a problem that goes way deeper than just banning fans. It's about treating people with basic human decency. Next, we have the Ja Morant situation that got really ugly during Game 2 of the first round series between the Memphis Grizzlies and the Utah Jazz. So, here's what went down. Ja's family was at the game, just there to support him. But some Jazz fans took things way too far. We're talking about verbal abuse that was so bad, it led to 3 fans getting banned from Vivint Arena for life. Ja himself took to Twitter to vent, saying, "My family should be able to cheer for me and my teammates without getting inappropriate said to them." And honestly, he's 100% right. Fans can heckle, but there's a line, and these guys crossed it. T. Morant, Ja's dad, even jumped in, saying there were 3 separate incidents with male Jazz fans. He made it clear, heckling is one thing, but this was way beyond that. It was disrespectful to a whole new level. Yo, this one's just straight up disrespectful. During Game 2 of the NBA playoffs between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Washington Wizards, Russell Westbrook got popcorn dumped on him by a fan as he was limping off the court after injuring his ankle. Like, really? The dude's hurt and someone thought it was a good idea to pour popcorn on his head? That's just next level disrespect. Westbrook was livid and had to be held back by security as he made his way down the tunnel.
This is just plain stupidity. Somebody pouring some popcorn and he's probably feeling bad, his team.
He didn't hold back either, calling out the fans who think they can do whatever they want. The amount of disrespect, the amount of fans just doing whatever they want to do, it's out of pocket, he said. And he's right. In any other setting, if someone poured popcorn on you, you know what would happen next. But Westbrook made it clear that this kind of behavior needs to be addressed. He said, in these arenas, you got to start protecting the players. And honestly, that's the least the NBA can do. Bradley Beal called it disgusting, and even Wizards coach Scott Brooks said the fans should be banned from the league. Philly's better than this, but it's a reminder that there's a line fans just shouldn't cross. The next NBA player on our list is Ben Simmons, who has had a rough ride with Philly fans, and it's not slowing down. After a rough playoff performance, the dude was absolutely ruthlessly criticized by the 76ers faithful. It was so bad that he literally demanded a trade. Like, that's how intense the hate got. And it didn't stop there. Philly fans took to social media to keep piling on, making sure Simmons knew exactly how they felt about his performance. Fast forward some months later, and Simmons was set to return to Philly. But trust me, it wasn't going to be a warm welcome. Even though he was sitting on the Brooklyn Nets bench, the boos were loud as he walked past the team bus at the Four Seasons Hotel.
Thanks for James, man!
A clip of the moment went viral, and honestly, it was like Philly fans were reminding him every step of the way that they weren't about to let him forget his struggles. It's one thing to be critical, but this level of harassment? That's just crossing a line. Fans can be passionate, but when it gets to the point where a player's mental health and career are on the line, maybe it's time to dial it back. Trae Young really got it from the New York Knicks fans during the playoffs. The guy was basically public enemy number one in Madison Square Garden, facing intense harassment from the crowd. We're talking chants of obscenities, insults flying left and right, and get this, one fan even spit on him. Like, what? Spitting on a player? That's just next level disrespect. But here's the twist. Trae wasn't fazed. He didn't just take the abuse, he turned it into fuel. He led the Atlanta Hawks to defeat the Knicks, getting sweet revenge on the fans who thought they could break him. Talk about a baller move. After the whole spitting incident went viral, the team investigated and banned the fan responsible from the Garden indefinitely. Moral of the story? Fans need to chill. Heckling is one thing, but spitting on someone? That's crossing the line. And Trae? He turned that hate into a victory, proving you can't break a real competitor. This next one is straight up insane. During a game in Utah, some fan decided to shine a laser right into James Harden's eyes while he was shooting a free throw.
Oh, they had a camera with a flash.
I mean, really, James Harden, is it that big of a deal? You're about to throw an attempt to look like you're going to throw a ball?
Like, are you serious? That's not just disrespectful, it's dangerous. Harden even said he was worried about getting blinded, and rightfully so. A laser in the eye could have caused some serious damage. Harden wasn't having it, calling the fan out for being disrespectful. Whoever that guy was, he wouldn't want to be lasered in the face, so that was disrespectful, he said. The good news? The NBA wasn't playing around. They banned the fan from all arenas for a year. That's a serious penalty, but honestly, it's the least they could do. The ref caught the laser, and security quickly escorted the fan out. But still, it's crazy that this kind of behavior even happens at a game. Harden finished the night with 30 points, leading the Rockets to a 93-91 win. So at least he didn't let it mess with his game. Moral of the story? Don't be that guy. Fans can't be out here trying to mess with players' safety. Keep it respectful, or you might end up banned for a whole year. Now, to the wildest NBA fan reaction to an NBA event. The 1992 Chicago Bulls championship celebration got out of hand, and I'm not talking about just a few rowdy fans. We're talking full-on chaos. After the Bulls clinched their second championship, over 1,000 fans went wild, causing serious damage to the city.
This was taped earlier in the evening because we had been told earlier, about half an hour ago, that the crowds had dispersed. Earlier, the smoke that you're seeing is a function of fire extinguishers that were spraying the street to get rid of gasoline that had leaked out of overturned taxi cabs.
Property damage? A whopping $10 million. Yeah, you heard that right. It wasn't just broken windows and overturned cars either. Violence took over the streets. Random gunfire echoed through the city, and by the time the dust settled, nearly 700 people were arrested. It was so bad that the city had to send in extra police just to keep things from spiraling even further. And it wasn't just about the property damage. 2 people even lost their lives in the madness. To try to calm things down, the city put out a PSA urging fans to celebrate responsibly. But honestly, after that kind of chaos, they had no choice. Moral of the story? Celebrate your team's wins, but don't take it to the point where the whole city's burning down. Respect the game, respect the streets, and maybe leave the fireworks and chaos out of it next time.